Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Thank you so much to everyone that's been hopping on with me for the last couple of days. It's been awesome to see all your comments and stuff, and I've really enjoyed hearing from you. So I hope that you enjoyed today as well. We've covered alcohol and smoking so far. I was going to do drugs today, but I was like, no, I think that we need to mix it up at this point. So, hey Lucy, good morning hun, hello. If anyone's hopping on with me, give me a like or a thumbs up so that I can just see who's on. But today I would like to talk about relationships. So we are taking a slightly different tangent. So humans are very social creatures. Like, we're programmed on an innate level to fit in, to seek out love and approval, because as cavemen, when we weren't accepted by the tribe, it meant that you wouldn't be given any shelter and that you wouldn't be given any food, and basically left out for the lions and the tigers to find you. So in our brains, like, lack of love equals death and love equals survival. So that's how we're programmed. And actually, people who are happy in relationships, who have fulfilling relationships, generally speaking, live longer. Fact. But now, in our developed brains and our developed society, there are in fact 5 different parts to relationships. We've got love, friendship, intimacy, touch, and sex. But we do tend to confuse all of these things. People just sometimes want to hug or love or intimacy, and actually they seek out sex. Or, hey Janet, thanks for hopping on, lovely. Or you get great sex and you think that you're in love and you've found your partner for the rest of your life. Or people get into relationships because they have great sex and discard the fact that they need to be great friends as well. So in terms of cultivating healthy relationships, you can form meaningful and healthy relationships when you can distinguish between all of these different things. Hey Aiden, when you can distinguish between all these different things, and when you can recognize that in fact your expectations need to be aligned in order for your relationship to function. Hey Melissa, thanks for hopping on. And to be open about it as well. To be open with yourself and be open with the other person. So for example, in one past relationship that I had, it was extremely unhealthy because my expectation and what I was looking for was connection and intimacy, whereas what he was looking for was some connection but mainly sex. So our energies that we were bringing to the relationship were totally imbalanced. It wasn't anyone's fault, but it just led to a lot of suffering because neither one of us was particularly open about what we needed, and it was just not good. And this is a case, it's a case of delving deep into yourself and analysing what it is that you're truly seeking from your relationship and what it's giving you and what you're seeking from life at this time, and being open with the other person and what you're seeking from them. And also recognising that it's okay to have time, to want to have time to yourself. We all need time alone. And to also recognise that you can't get all of these things necessarily from one person. You can never get love, friendship, intimacy, touch and sex and everything that you need of all of those just from one person. And that's totally fine. And in terms of the impact that not distinguishing between these can have on our health, most people nowadays are intimacy or touch deprived in our day-to-day lives. I really do think that we are. Hey Talia, thanks for hopping on, hey girl. When I went home over Christmas, when I went back to the UK, I felt my entire state shift. Not just because it was Christmas, not just because I was home, but I was getting hugs. And I realised that I hadn't been getting real, heartfelt, loved hugs in the whole year that I'd been living abroad. And unconsciously, I think that I'd become a lot more independent, as well as slightly more hardened and isolated. And actually just receiving hugs on a day-to-day basis just completely changed my entire shift. There was a massive shift in my mood. So a lot of people end up craving junk food or sugar because in fact they're craving intimacy. It's a totally different thing. The same person wouldn't come home and open the fridge if their partner greeted them after their day at work with big wide open arms and asked them what was happening in their day. Yes, your hugs are wonderful, Lucy. yeah, so, and that's why people start to look to other things. So, for example, when I crave chocolate all the time when I'm stressed or upset, because my body is somehow looking to rectify the imbalance at the moment, and it's going for the most immediate thing that it knows possible. So it knows that with chocolate I get a big dopamine hit, and that my serotonin levels suddenly spike up. So the body thinks that that's what it needs. We can't distinguish between those things. The body's craving is in fact correct. No craving is a mistake. The body is always trying to rebalance something, but it's just that our perception of what we think that thing is incorrect. So if your body is sending you a message, it's just to rebalance in some way. So eating disorders, for example, whether it's under-eating or overeating, that's actually, it can be just a love deficiency. Or, you know, this, the most underestimated vitamin on the planet, vitamin L, I like to call it. So, yeah, it's just the interpretation of the craving. And actually with these things, it's just about seeing what's running deeper on an emotional level, and seeing if we can get that socially or from our relationship. So also about moving on to how we have healthy perceptions of past relationships, because we all talk about having past baggage from past relationships or former relationships. And, you know, why should we have that? You know, if we're all living in the present, then we shouldn't really have that. But for some people, this is a real thing until we can clear it. So I've recently learned from an incredible mindset coach, Dr. Nima, about something that he calls the law of fair exchange. So sometimes we hold emotional charge to past relationships because we believe that in some way we were wronged or shortchanged, when in fact we always gain something in equal balance from the relationship, in totally equal measure to the other person. It's just in a different form. So, for example, in the relationship that I spoke about before, where, you know, I was craving the intimacy and the love and the connection, and they were just craving the kind of the sex and stuff. So hey Lisa Marie, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, with that, I felt like, you know, for a long time, I felt like I had been really shortchanged. Like I had given so much to the relationship, like I'd really put myself out there, laid my heart on the line, and all I'd been given was this big kind of big emotional bitch slap. And in fact, I gained a lot from the relationship, not in the way that I had expected, or my delusion of what the relationship should be, what my delusion craved, but certainly in other ways. So just getting real, for example, about this relationship, when I look back on it, I enjoyed it. You know, the toing, the throwing, the earth-shattering highs and lows, the crazy energy of the whole thing. You know, the highs of the incredible sex and the passion of it all, and the lows of the pain, the wallowing in the pain. Hey, Camille, like the wallowing in the pain and like the impossibility and the drama. I was addicted to the whole thing because I felt like I was living and experiencing it. And I got one of the most energizing relationships of my life, and it fitted my crazy lifestyle that I had at the time too perfectly. And as soon as I realized this, I just realized that I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a thing. I could be grateful for the whole experience, all the highs, all the lows, all the unfair exchange. I was just grateful for the whole thing, and it releases you from still holding on to something in the past energetically, because it's so difficult to move on when we're stuck energetically on the negative of the past thing and feeling like we've had that unfair turn. So then you can move on, you can move into a new space. It opens up a new possibility for you in your future, and you can come into a new relationship from a very, very healthy place. So I hope that has been useful. I would love to hear people's experiences of relationships and things that they've maybe been holding on to, or hey Mary, things that people have been holding on to, or what this has maybe triggered for some people, because, you know, just looking at your past relationships with that fresh perspective of what has this actually given me for my life. it's a bit of a game changer, to be honest. I was speaking to someone earlier and they had a big aha about it. So I hope that that's helpful for at least one other person today. Thank you so much, Melissa. And thank you so much for everyone for jumping on. I look forward to speaking to you all again tomorrow and for the next coming weeks. So have a lovely evening or a lovely day, depending where you're watching, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.